Hey everyone, Xavier here and welcome back to our next episode of the 205 Live Universe Mode. A day later than planned due to a computer move that did not go to plan. But we are back finally. We've got some more big matches here this evening, including our third member of the Money in the Bank qualifiers. Start things off with Drew Gulak taking on Ricochet. And here is then Drew Gulak. This should be a very interesting match, this one. Two very differing styles. Drew Gulak, of course, much more of the submission style, much more the technical style of cruiserweight wrestling. And of course, Ricochet is all about the high-flying maneuvers. So it will be very, very interesting to see which one of those two styles do come out on top. I feel like if Gulak can ground Ricochet, he might have the big advantage here. However, if Ricochet can get his high-paced maneuvers going, it's all about the control and the pace of this match, I think. Whoever controls the pace, I think, will have a great chance of coming out the victor. And the bell goes, and we are underway. Ricochet versus Drew Gulak. I'm a big fan of Gulak, I really am, actually. I want to see more of him, to be honest. Might have to give a bit more of a push, I think, moving forward. I've got some plans moving forward this Universe Mode. Of course, just to go back to the previous Universe Mode episode, a quick update on Eddie Guerrero, who was injured backstage by Andrade Cien Almas. Actually caught him with that hammerlock DDT onto the pure concrete floor in the back area, which was a very serious situation. Guerrero was taken to a local hospital, and we are still awaiting an update. We have got the championship match scheduled between Pete Dunne and Guerrero, though, in 3 episodes' time. If Guerrero doesn't show up, then I don't know, it's tricky to say. I mean, the match is scheduled. If he doesn't show up, by the letter of the law, he's disqualified, and Pete Dunne wins the match. That's by the letter of the law, but I don't really want to miss out on a championship match, so I think we'll just have to wait and see what happens, I suppose. See if he does turn up. I mean, it's a massive opportunity for him to become the Cruiserweight Champion in this Universe Mode as Gulak. Nice. Gut-wrench suplex on Ricochet, and as I said, keeping Ricochet grounded stops him from using the majority of his offense, that high-fly maneuvers. Ricochet now, nice backdrop, then flips back up to his feet. Nice boot in the spine of Gulak as well. Jawbreaker by Gulak. I'm struggling. I was having this issue yesterday when I was doing some recording. Just my mouth doesn't seem to be able to make the right words that my brain is thinking of. I don't know why. Wow, I don't know if you can hear that. Literally, all the fans are just kicked in again. The PlayStation and the PC fan are kicked in. Yes, essentially what I've done is I've moved around a bit. Going back to what I said in the beginning of the video. I've, obviously, as some of you might know, more eagle-eared of you might know, I moved into a new house a few months back. My old desk was just far too big, so I finally got a smaller desk, and it's pretty nice, actually. It's a very nice desk. The only problem is that it's, I've had to put it in a different position, and when I moved it, I realised that my PlayStation recorder could no longer reach to plug into my PC, which was pretty annoying. So now I feel like I've dealt with that. I've got it all wired up. Then I had an issue with my external hard drive not working, so I had to fix that. Then my PC stopped working, so I had to fix that. And now I am behind on videos. Hopefully I'll be able to get back on top, which means random match we uploaded today as well. And then G1 Climax tomorrow. That'd be nice. Our first video from the G1 Climax. That is going to be an awesome tournament. I mean, the 16 names that are involved in that tournament are going to be absolutely outstanding. And then we are going to finish the whole tournament off with a 2-part Wrestle Kingdom pay-per-view taking place exactly when Wrestle Kingdom takes place in January. So it's worked out pretty well for us. Oh, a 450 attempt there by Ricochet, blocked by Gulak with the knees. Now Gulak catching Ricochet. Wow, what a suplex that was. Landed him on the back of his neck. Gulak now just dragging the lifeless body of Ricochet into the middle of the ring before launching into the Gulak. Will Ricochet tap out here? Be a massive win for Gulak if he pulls this off. No. Ricochet is able to roll it through, and then a boot right in the spine of Drew Gulak as well. Nice running Hurricanrana. Ricochet stalking now. I'm hoping the DLC for Ricochet might be available soon. He is very much involved in everything, isn't he? I mean, there's a few, isn't there? Finn Balor's the same. I think Adam Cole might be the same as well. People that are involved... Oh, we could have put Adam Cole in the G1 Climax, really. Couldn't we, thinking about it? But people who are involved in everything. So, essentially, Finn Balor and Ricochet were involved in NXT. They're both involved in 205 Live, and they'll both be involved in New Japan as well, as will Adam Cole. Of course, I'm just thinking now, Adam Cole probably should have been part of the G1 Climax. However, the rosters for the G1 Climax are very good anyway. But, I mean, Adam Cole against some of those big names would have been fantastic. Nice clothesline to the back there by Gulak, who now drags Ricochet into the middle of the ring, now into a pin. One... So his feet up on the ropes. Referee hasn't seen it, but it's only there for a 2 count. I have never seen that pinfall ever work on this game. Not one single time has that pinfall ever worked. Ricochet, nice Hurricanrana once again on Gulak, drops into the pin. 1, 2, or only 1 count. Other matches tonight we're going to have for you next up is going to be Ariya Daivari taking on Xavier Woods. Great chance for Woods to show what he can do. And of course Daivari as well have had a fantastic time in the Cruiserweight Classic. And our main event this evening will be a rematch from Shabby Takeover. Johnny Gargano versus Tomasso Ciampa one-on-one. The winner will be the 3rd man entered into the Money in the Bank ladder match, joining both Sin Cara and Kyle O'Reilly. Some good stuff going on this recently, actually. I'm looking forward to seeing some of this pretty cool stuff. There's the pin by Ricochet once again, and this time it is enough for him to pick up the 3 count. Ricochet will be involved in a Money in the Bank qualifier in a couple of weeks' time against Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Ariya Daivari as well. That's his big opportunity. This was a great chance to build up some momentum, which is what he has done, and that's really going to encourage him moving forward into that big fatal 4-way elimination match as well. Good win here for Ricochet. Well done, my lad. I will ask again about the scenario, about whether you guys... what your sort of thoughts are on bringing people in. I know from some of the comments I've been getting, a lot of you want to stay as realistic as possible, but how do you feel about people like Will Ospreay? The Young Bucks? I mean, are these people that you would like to see considered to join the roster? I mean, I'm just talking about the potential of Will Ospreay versus Ricochet at some point. That's the plan. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'd love to see it. Would you? And here is our second match of the evening as Ariya Daivari takes on Xavier Woods. And here is then Ariya Daivari, absolutely fantastic in the Cruiserweight Classic. Got all the way to the semi-finals. It was an insane run for him. The best run I think I could have even... I never even saw that. I really... Literally, when I put him in as somebody to get knocked out in the first round by a favourite, and he only went and beat them. It was crazy how well this guy did. And here is then your Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, alongside, of course, Big E. Now, I will stress one more time, because it has been mentioned a few times in the comment section, Big E is in this roster solely as a manager. He will not be part of the wrestling group. He's here solely to back up his guys, Kofi and Xavier. Therefore, it's allowed, surely. And here we go then. Xavier Woods, great chance to showcase what he can do. I mean, Woods and Kofi, this is the only real universe mode they could be involved in. I didn't even ask my little friend here. I didn't even say her name, because if I do, kicker in. I didn't even ask my little friend here how much Kofi weighs, but I'm sure he was... It's fine, I don't mind. We can be a little bit liberal here and there. If we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, we could end up with a really depleted roster. The weird thing is that whoever's created that Danny Burch core that we used in the previous episode has put him down as less than 205 in the actual game, which is why I just assumed he was a cruiserweight. Because you ever see in the game, if you go into just a singles match, you can actually select cruiserweights further down to give you all the cruiserweights, which is how I found out that Chad Gable is classed as a cruiserweight. We haven't seen Chad Gable yet, actually, have we? Have I got him down as a match? I'm sure I put him down as a match at some point. Maybe not. I'm sure I had Gable down for a match at some point. Either way, we'll ignore that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's an easy way of doing it, an easy way of figuring out who are the right people to use for this roster. And that's what I do with a lot of it. That's why Burch ended up on this roster, because when I downloaded the core for NXT, I noticed he was in the cruiserweight list. But then obviously after speaking to my little speaker friend here, I can't say because we'll go mad. After speaking to her, then we realised that he's actually £240, which is pretty insane. That can't be right, to be honest with you, because £240 is what Apollo Crews is billed at as well. And I think Apollo Crews is much bigger than Danny Burch. I'll tell you what, Ariya Daivari continues to look incredibly good here and now dominating Xavier Woods. And should Ariya Daivari win here? Should we give him an opportunity maybe at the Tag Team Championships? I don't know, but obviously we'd have to try and find somebody for him to team up with. Obviously the obvious choice would probably be his brother. But yeah, as I mentioned in the previous match towards the end, what are your guys' opinions? I don't know, I don't want to step on anyone's toes, but I don't mind using obviously other people from WWE that's realistic to move, and a few legends here and there that could come back and help bolster the roster if we need to. But what are your opinions on potential signings? Now, there is heavy rumours that the Young Bucks could be WWE bound at some point. I don't know. And then they are with New Japan still, aren't they? Because I was a little bit worried because they were on the Wrestle Kingdom card, but they're actually going for the main Tag Team Championships rather than the Junior Heavyweight Championships for a change. So that's one thing. You've got Will Ospreay as well, who I'm sure at some point will be very much on WWE's radar, but whether he would go is a different story. Zack Sabre Jr., of course, has worked WWE in the past. Kota Ibushi. There's all these sort of names that are potential people that we could look at, but I don't know. It just depends on what you guys want to see. I don't know. In fairness, we do have a pretty massive roster. You probably don't need to join anyone else to it, to be honest. I mean, I've got some ideas for stuff I want to do towards the end, towards Shabby Mania for 205 Live. It's going to be a nice mixture of all sorts of stuff. Some feud matches, some championship matches, and some special attraction matches and that sort of stuff. So it should be pretty interesting. Nice stamp on the back there by Ariya Daivari, now dropping a boot on the back of the arm as well. There's the pin. One. Only one count. Wow. He's having none of that, was he? Brings Woods back up to his feet. What a spinning kick that was. Woods really rocked by that. Daivari now bringing Woods back up to his feet now, looking for an ace crusher. And Ariya Daivari, like I said, doing fantastically well here. Dominating Xavier Woods. It's a good thing about moving my desk is it's really close to me now while I'm recording. Closer than it used to be. Nice spinning neck breaker there by Xavier Woods on Ariya Daivari, and he's turned this match back around. And it's been good momentum for himself and Kofi. We are planning on having the Tag Team Championships defended in a few episodes' time. I'll tell you what, the episodes get pretty interesting moving forward. The next episode we have another Money in the Bank qualifier. The episode after, we're going to have the Light Heavyweight Championship match, as we discussed previous episode with TJP taking on Akira Tozawa. Then after that, we're going to have another Money in the Bank qualifier and the Cruiserweight Championship match. After that, we're going to have the Tag Team Championship match and then the Money in the Bank ladder match. It's going to be pretty insane moving forward. The next sort of like 4 or 5 episodes are going to have a lot of real big sort of universe-defining things going on. And yeah, like I said, we've got 2 tag team matches of the next 2 episodes. And the winners of those 2 tag team matches will fight for the #1 contendership, I believe. Yeah. So the first match will be the next episode. That'll be the Sings versus the Lucha Dragons. And then the episode afterwards will be the Lucha House Party versus Roderick Strong and Bobby Fish, of course. Mainly because Kyle O'Reilly is obviously part of that Money in the Bank, so we don't want him doing too much. Nice roll through there by Xavier Woods, and there's the pin, and I can see a trickle of blood there rolling down the forehead of Ariya Daivari. He just does so well every time he's in the ring, Daivari. I mean, he never just folds, does he? He always puts on an absolutely amazing performance. That's why I have included him in one of the Money in the Bank qualifiers. There's the Eat Defeat by Xavier Woods. I'm sure that's going to be enough for Woods to pick up the victory. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Xavier Woods does get the win. And the momentum moving forward for himself and Kofi in this tag team division. There's the win. Xavier very happy with himself. See, Daivari's back up on his feet. He's going to offer some sort of handshake. And it is accepted. Great respect being shown here by these 2 guys. Like I said, Daivari's done fantastically well. And I must admit, although in real life, I mean, he's good in real life. I mean, I appreciate what he does in real life. But on this game, I like him more and more every time we see him. I mean, that run in the Cruiserweight Classic. And that does happen. Look at Jordan Devlin. I wasn't a fan of Jordan Devlin. And then with that run he had in the World Cup last summer, it really brought me on. And because of that run he had in the World Cup, he got better opportunities. And he ended up getting a match at Shabby Takeover, or Shabby Mania, sorry, for SWE Rising against Finn Balor in the final episode as well. So some big stuff going on for him. And I think Ariya Daivari could get himself some great opportunities here again. Like I said, I rewrote one of my cards earlier just to make sure Ariya Daivari got a chance to be in this Money in the Bank ladder match. But that's his opportunity. He's just got to take it now. Anyway, talking of opportunities, main event time. And here is our main event then. As promised, a rematch from Shabby Takeover for the NXT Championship. It's Tomasso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. This time, though, for a chance to be in that Money in the Bank ladder match in a few weeks' time. And here then is Tomasso Ciampa. What a dude. What a dude. Possibly one of the best heels in NXT. Well, history probably. He's been absolutely fantastic. And that's one of the things that a lot of fantastic wrestlers generally are not. What's the best way of saying this without sounding a bit like a knob? It's tricky because a lot of the times, like, you have a fantastic in-ring competitor, but they're not necessarily the best on the mic. And that's one thing that, if you can get someone who's got both, that's absolutely fantastic. It's a bit like the Velveteen Dream as well. He's good in the ring, but he's fantastic on the mic as well. So it's a great mix, really. And it's not very often they get those in NXT. And Tomasso Ciampa, and especially heels as well. Faces are quite easy to find. Heels are a dying breed, and Tomasso Ciampa is just fantastic at getting the crowd against him. And here is then Johnny Wrestling. I got confused there for a second. Yeah, Johnny Wrestling, of course, the first NXT champion in our universe mode, and now having a go at the 205 Live belt as well. Of course, he was involved in the original tournament and was not able to win that, but of course, winning the Money in the Bank sort of almost guarantees you a championship, doesn't it, really? So he'd love to win this match and get in that ladder match. And here we go then, a chance to join Sin Cara and Kyle O'Reilly in that 6-man ladder match. Which one of these 2 guys will take that opportunity? It's been very back and forth. Of course, Tomasso Ciampa. Was it Tomasso Ciampa? I don't remember now. I record that much that my brain goes dead sometimes. Did Tomasso Ciampa win the NXT Championship, I believe, at TakeOver? Gargano won the belt to start off with, and Ciampa was able to walk away from the Universe mode with that championship. Ciampa-ship. And of course, these 2 guys will just continue to fight forever. These 2 guys, they are... Depends how you look at it, and I would love to see at some point in this universe mode maybe a resurgence of DIY. That'd be insane if that happened. If we can get these 2 guys on the same page, why not? Because these two guys could really dominate the tag team division. I would love to see that, actually. We'll see what happens. Obviously, one of these two guys is going to end up in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Which one of the two, we don't know as yet. But maybe when it does happen, we can, if they don't win the briefcase, even if they do win the briefcase, maybe we can have a look at maybe trying to talk these two guys into a little tag team run. It depends who goes to the championship, because I don't feel like, well, obviously Undisputed Era are very strong. But I don't necessarily feel like the likes of Lucha House Party or Lucha Dragons or the Sings are really going to give the New Day or Undisputed Era too much of trouble. But then again, I don't know. I mean, I'm just assuming that Undisputed Era is going to get them. Well, referee, what are you doing, ref? Oh my god, I mean, slow referees is one thing, but that was insanely slow refereeing. Get that guy his P45 sorted right now. If you're American, by the way, P45 is what you give someone when they get sacked. It's what they give to their next employer for tax and that sort of stuff. But that's exactly what that referee deserves, to be booted out of this company, because that is awful. That refereeing was absolutely awful. Right, Ciampa springing Gargano back into the ring. Now follows up with a boot right in the gut, and now knee in the side as well. Gargano writhing in pain. Ciampa looks pretty happy with what he's done. And now just, I thought he was going to go for a pin, but instead just raining the punches down into the face of Gargano. There's the pin. One. Only a 1 count. Ciampa continues. And now he's really taking control of this match and really just basically picking apart Johnny Gargano. You imagine if it carries on this way, it's going to be a matter of time. But Gargano does slide free and starts battling. There's a spinning heel kick to the gut of Ciampa. Springs off the rope, slides underneath for the baseball slide into a Hurricanrana. Gargano bringing Ciampa back up to a kneeling base, and then a nice stiff right hand in the face before bringing him back up. So Gargano got planned here. Pin him across the ropes, but Ciampa fighting back. What a stiff right hand, and Gargano rocked into the corner. It's going to take him a few seconds to get his mind back after that bad boy. Ciampa with Gargano up top. This is not a good situation for either of these two guys. It's going to be pretty dangerous. Ciampa now has Gargano. Superplex. Wow. Brutality. There's the pin. One. Only a 1 count. Wow. Gargano kicked out so quick there. Can't believe how quick Gargano did kick out. Now Gargano taking Ciampa up on his shoulders, looking for the lawn dart. Gargano all of a sudden is on top of this one. There's the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Still can't believe Ciampa wasn't on this game. I mean, what were 2K thinking? And Ukes. And WWE. There was rumours that I lost my voice. There was rumours that Ciampa had requested not to be on the game, but he was on the game last year, and to be honest, he made quite a few comments about it on Twitter, so I can't understand why he wouldn't be on the game. The only thing I can think of is that he was out injured for a large portion of the year before. I reckon they just forgot about him. Oh, what a neck breaker. I honestly reckon that's what it was. I reckon that because he was out injured for such a long period of time, I reckon they just forgot about him. Ciampa now drags Gargano back in, draped across the middle rope. Vintage Randy Orton with that DDT. Trying to bring Gargano back up, but Gargano with the jawbreaker. As Ciampa starts bleeding more profusely from the skull drop kick to the back. Ciampa with the elbow now taking Gargano up onto his shoulders. Oh, wow, what a nice move that was. It was like a sit-out inverted Death Valley driver. And Ciampa is in control of things now, just staring down his grounded opponent, Johnny Gargano. What does Ciampa have in his mind for Gargano next? But Gargano out of nowhere just catches Ciampa with that neck breaker. Now locking him into this submission. Oh, wrenching back of that arm. Gargano looks like he's struggling. And Gargano's really struggling here. Ciampa's really struggling here. Gargano has been able to keep him grounded, which is good for him. Nice hip toss. Ciampa bringing Gargano back up to his feet now. Up into a, yes, Project Ciampa out of nowhere. There's the pin. 1, 2. Only 2 count. Wow, Gargano kicked out the Project Ciampa. Ciampa can't believe it. I can't believe it, to be honest with you. But it might not be enough by Johnny Gargano as Ciampa takes him up. Drops him in the Angel's wings. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Tomasso Ciampa is going to Money in the Bank. Johnny Gargano, unfortunately, goes no further in this competition. But there's still chances for Gargano to get himself on top of things. There's still a lot of chances to be had. And like I said, I am not opposed to the idea of potentially letting these two guys team up at some point. I mean, when I say not opposed to, I mean really want to. But it's just trying to figure it out, because trying to write them back as friends is going to be quite a weird thing to do. I think it would involve a Johnny Gargano heel turn, possibly. Or maybe a Ciampa face. I don't know. I don't know what the best way would be to do it, to be honest with you. Maybe we just force them together. Maybe we just play devil's advocate and put them together and see what happens. But there we go. A good match this was as well. Very hard fought by both guys. Eventually it was just Ciampa who just had that couple of extra high impact maneuvers that Gargano did not. The Project Ciampa and then the Angels wins. And either way, Tomasso Ciampa, just like an NXT takeover, or shabby takeover shall I say, Tomasso Ciampa stands tall at the end of the match. He is going on to join Kyle O'Reilly and Sin Cara in that Money in a Bank ladder match. Can you imagine this guy with a Money in the Bank briefcase? That would be absolutely lethal. Either way, that's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, please do slap a like and, of course, subscribe if you want to see some more. I've been Xavier Gamer. Thank you much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.